What is up, everybody? My name is Justin. This is Forever Self-Employed, Quote IQ, and all about pressure washing. In today's video, we're going to be talking about when to quit your job and go full-time working for yourself. This is a big topic for people, right, Mike?
Yeah, it's something we hear all the time. People are constantly asking, "Hey, when should I quit my full-time job and go at this? And not a side hustle. Let's go full time." And it's a delicate question, right? And it's hard to answer. So we wanted to kind of dive into some of the main things to think about when you're asking yourself these questions.
Right. When to quit your job, when to go full-time. I forgot to mention that Mike is a special guest on this channel.
And I also forgot to mention that I'm very happy to have Justin from Forever Self-Employed on my channel. So welcome to the channel.
We want to let you guys know that tonight we are doing a web class. Well, Aaron's doing a web class on how he grew his pressure washing business from zero to over $250,000 a year with one truck and no money. If you guys are interested, it's absolutely free. It'll be a link in the comment section and the description. The link will say free web class. All you got to do is click through and register. And he's going to be teaching 3 secrets. Okay, he's going to be talking about how he stole his competition's positioning to make it look like he was the biggest guy in the city. He's going to talk about how he built a book of high ticket business and made it to where they could never leave. I'm having some trouble reading today, Mike. And secret number 3, he's going to be talking about how he gets 200 calls per month for free into his business. So if you guys are interested in growing your business past $250,000 or just taking it from 0 to 100K or 150K, whatever, check it out. Free web class. First link in the comment section and the description. Mike, you got anything to say about that?
No, it's a great class. Aaron has got a lot of great information. So if you guys have not attended one of his classes in the past, by all means, go and register. There are limited seats, like Justin said. So get in there quick. And that's it. What's up, Truth Seeker?
That's right. Kevin? Bring a pen and pad because he goes through a lot of stuff. Kevin Hawthorne is with us from Lakeland, Florida, Mike.
Yeah, Kevin.
Truth Seekers here. What's up, Truth Seeker? T-Pain Swimmers here. What's up, fellas? We appreciate you guys joining us. So, Mike, when we think about quitting our job and going full-time, obviously that is the goal for a lot of people. Do we glamorize it a little bit? I don't know. But I think a lot of people try to make the jump too soon in a lot of cases.
I think that is probably what happens more often than not. And, the rate of failure for new businesses is pretty staggering, right? And I don't know what the statistics are off the top of my head, but most new businesses, they don't even make it past like year 2.
Right.
And so I think it's pretty important. I've got a bunch of kids running through the house at summertime at my house. Hold on.
That's okay. You want me to keep going? I'm going to give a couple shout outs. We got Hidu's here. Good afternoon from Vancouver, Canada. If any of you guys have gone full-time in your business, or if you quit your job to go full-time in your business, let us know down in the comment section below how long it took you to kind of make that jump from doing this part-time to going full-time into your business.
Right. And so back to what I was saying is a lot of the failure rate is very high. And so starting a business is one thing, right? Starting it on the side, a little side hustle, if you will. And I don't even really like that word, but devoting your weekends and your time off from your full-time job, which will allow you to maintain that security of a steady paycheck. And that is ultimately, I think, what we all want when we're starting our own businesses is financial freedom. But we don't want to risk our livelihood, our current state of being as far as your financial, health goes, just to go out there and start there are a lot of things that go into starting a business, but the security of a job allows you to build a business. Like I said, on the weekends when you've got, time off or things like that. And I think that's what most people probably need to do before jumping in with both feet. And sometimes people have to jump in. They're forced to jump in. But if you've got the luxury of a steady paycheck, then by all means, take advantage of that. And then when time is right, when your marketing is in place, when you've got lead flow coming in, when you can't handle all the work that you've got on the weekends or after work, that's when you really want to kind of start evaluating when you move forward.
Right. Exactly. I think there's a couple benefits and detriments to pressure washing, right? First and foremost, it's not like lawn care. It's not recurring. So unfortunately, when you get a customer, the next time you're going to service them is probably going to be a year from now, as opposed to, let's say you were able to pick up 20 or 30 lawn care customers. Like you could, pretty much rely on that for the lifetime of the season. So from that standpoint, customers in pressure washing are a little bit harder to come by, or you have to come by more of them in order to fill the schedule. I always come from the position of, let's fill a year's worth of books first, just with weekend jobs. Let's see how much money that is. I mean, if you fill every weekend for a whole year, I mean, that'd be a pretty substantial amount of money, Mike. Like, you'd probably be over six figures at that point, huh?
No, I think so.
Something close to that. So once you get to that kind of point, then you've replaced income. Then you're in a much better place. Then you got a book of customers, which is why you need to be using Quote IQ to be keeping up with customers, sending estimates, invoices, and collecting payments. Because once you got all of those people in a database, they're one email away. So let's say times get tough, you can fall back on that email list. You can say, hey guys, we're offering a new service. Hey guys, here's a special deal on something. But until you've built up that base of customers, that stable base of customers, you really shouldn't make the jump into full time, because then you're going to be solely relying on yourself to bring in those customers. And that's where guys get into these situations where, they're like, I can't get any customers and my business is failing and I'm gonna have to sell all the equipment. It's because you put yourself in a desperate situation, right, Mike?
Yeah, no, without a doubt. And I think like we talked about, that's one of those, when you jump in full bore and things don't pan out, because this is not easy. This is running your own business, right? And by no means does, in my opinion, does it sound glamorous at all. But when you're working for yourself, you are the one that has to answer, to yourself, because if it fails, if things don't go right, it's on you. You can't blame anybody else. You can't blame the boss or corporate or whoever, right? The success and the failure of your business are dependent upon you and the decisions that you make. So start the business with smart decision making, right? And so that's kind of the things that we want to talk about. And one of the things that's very important for you to do when you're thinking about starting a business is you really need to validate your market, right? You need to do a market assessment, see what is out there, see who is out there, who is your competition, what are they doing? We hear about oversaturation, and I've made videos about that. We've talked about that on here, and I'm not a real firm believer. I don't really believe in a market being oversaturated. I think if you run your business intelligently, that you can rise above and be the preferred, vendor or supplier or service provider of whatever it is that you're doing. And with all of that being said, I think that understanding your market before you really dive into anything is paramount. And that way you can also kind of get a gauge on who's specializing in what. Is there a little niche that's out there that maybe you could pick up on? Justin talked about a recurring business, right? Maybe you want to be the guy that goes and does dumpster pads or focuses on sidewalks at restaurants, and that's recurring business. That is stability, things like that. Window cleaners. There's a lot of window cleaners out there that have route work, consistent route work all year round. And having that type of work initially when you're starting out is very big, because again, you're just starting. You don't have the lead flow that a lot of your competitors are going to have. You don't have that repeat business, that client book. So all of that has to be built. And like I said, it doesn't happen overnight. And if anybody tells you that it does, if anybody is trying to sell you a bill of goods on, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, and you're going to have all of this, well, I assure you that is not something that's going to happen. You have to put in the work. You have to implement the things that you need to implement in order to be successful, the systems, the marketing. You got to have your ads in place. You need to have, you need to be prepared. And you also need to be prepared financially if you do decide to quit, because what happens when there's no money coming in for a couple of weeks because the jobs have dried up, right? Like, these are all concerns that I have when people ask this question, and there's no easy answer. So again, if you guys have got any questions for us, please ask them in the comments section and we'll address them.
Bunch of questions. So I'm planning on next year, I guess, to go full time. So far, I have enough clients, but nothing I can't manage. I remember Mike said before, if you can't manage part time, go full time, which is something that we just spoke about, right? Like, build up the part time so much that it becomes overwhelming to you at some point. Now, Mike, you took a different route. You have had a job, and then you acquired the business, you bought the business, and you've had somebody working in the business the whole time. Is that another route that somebody could go? If they have a stable business, they could just bring on a helper to, take care of some work, and they never have to choose between that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There are a lot of guys that I know that have done this, and it's a business model that certainly works. You do not have to physically be on the ground every single day, doing whatever it is, whether it's mowing lawns, detailing cars, cleaning carpets, pressure washing, right? These are things that you can train somebody to do. You can find a good person, you can pay them, and you pay them well because you get what you pay for. But most importantly, you find somebody that represents your company, kind of the beliefs of your business, and because they're not going to be the face necessarily of the business, but they're going to be the guy on the ground doing the work. And so if you can find somebody like that, that you trust with your equipment, that's going to be a good steward of your name as well as the equipment, going to do a good job, because returning customers are very important. And if we do shoddy work, they're not going to call you back. They're not going to give you referrals. They're not going to give you reviews. It's this cycle, right? And so I think, like when I started, I learned every aspect of the business, from the marketing of it and the sales aspects. I've always been in sales and I've always been in marketing, but it's a little bit different, right? Different customer base who you're trying to attract in this type of business world that we're in. And so you have to have a firm understanding of the business, how to perform, and do the job right, because there's no way that you can teach anybody. There's no way you can instruct anybody, and there's no way that you can correct anybody if you don't first know it yourself. So I think it's maybe a good place to start. Again, side hustle type stuff, weekends, and in the evenings, if that's something that's possible, to learn it yourself, and then maybe bring somebody in so you can be the one that's training them. Because I think also there's a lack of respect sometimes with people that are just, in an office somewhere, barking orders. But if push came to shove, they can't go out there and do it themselves. And so you lose a little bit of lack of respect there, and that's not good. That's not a good environment for anybody. So, yeah, absolutely. My route was a little different. I know several other folks that have done the same thing, and it's worked out well for me. I've had very, very bad employees. I've had people that didn't take care of my stuff. I've had people that have stolen from me. I've had people that have tried to take customers. There are so many things that can go wrong. And so most importantly with any business owner is you have to have pretty thick skin, right? You have to have the ability to kind of step away and not take everything personally. And, just understand that this is business. It's not personal. And from there, you can kind of move on.
Boom. Mike had a different route. Mike, took on the business and already had a worker. Mike, was that weird for you early on, not being able to, you didn't know everything about pressure washing, so you just kind of had to figure it out along the way a little bit with regards to a worker?
Hold on.
Okay. Mike's dealing with some kids. It is summer, so he's got some people coming in and out. Cameron said, appreciate you guys here in Metro Detroit, Michigan. We appreciate you, Cameron. Thanks for watching. So, Mike, with regards to – okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, with regards to the way, so Mike acquired his business, he purchased the business, he had somebody already working in the business. I don't think you had you weren't very knowledgeable with regards to pressure washing. So how was that early on, Mike, handling that?
Like with anything, there obviously is a learning curve. And I spent a lot of time on internet forums. I spent a lot of time, digging around and trying to find, the best methods, the best chemicals, all of the things that, and they weren't readily available. I mean, this was like 21 years ago. And so we didn't have access to all of the things that we do now. And that's one of the main reasons that, we built How to Wash, is because we wanted to prevent people like myself who have decided to go into, a business and just like wing it and just figure it out, right? Like, in my opinion, there's no honor, there's no nobility in doing it the hard way. There's no reason to do that when you can shortcut the learning curve, when you can cut out years and years of trial and error to learn. And you can do it like I did it. And that was the hard way. I had to learn everything myself. I had to train myself on how to break down, pumps and rebuild pumps, and, the inner workings of chemical injectors, and how do unloaders work, and surface cleaners and adjustable nozzles. And like, there are all kinds of things that you don't really think about, but are needed in order to be as efficient and productive. Because if stuff goes bad, if your equipment shits out, if you're not doing things right, then it's going to get tough real quick, and you're not going to be profitable. You're not going to be making money. And if you're just starting out, you need to be profitable. You need to be making as much money as humanly possible, because you don't have that lead flow coming in. So as much education as you can get, that's one of the biggest things. And that's how I learned how to do everything, was either hands-on or investigating online and digging through all of the bullshit, because there was a tremendous amount, and there still is a tremendous amount of bullshit out there, bad information, people that don't know what they're doing. They've been in business for 3 weeks, and now they've got a YouTube channel and they're out there, talking about how to do this and that. Yet I saw that they just purchased my How to Wash course at the beginning of June, and now they've got a channel and they're trying to sell courses. It's unbelievable to me that people actually have this mentality that, look, I'm all about people helping and I'm all about people making a buck. But in order to truly, get to where you need to be in your business, you need to have reliable information. And there are places and there are people out there that can provide this to you. So I encourage you to find somebody, find a mentor, find somebody in your community. Maybe there's another business that might take you under their wing and let you work for free for a little bit to kind of figure it out. Those people are far and few between because they see you as competition and things of that nature. But that's a possibility. I've done it several times.
The problem is, Mike, we've just made being a pressure washer influencer too cool. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's true.
Everybody just wants to be cool like us now.
We are very, very cool.
We are cool. Let's go through. We got a couple other comments here. Just secured a quarterly account for 8 Dutch bros. Just started a pressure washing business. Been watching you boys for 3 months and decided to take the leap. Thanks, fellas. I don't know what a Dutch boy is.
I do. Dutch Brothers is a great coffee place.
It's a coffee place?
Coffee and I think donuts and stuff.
So he secured 8 of them. So we talked a little bit about early on how to, some of the ways that you guys could get some recurring work, and that is through commercial property. So if you're able to do like this guy, like Leotis Meadow did, and land, 8 different coffee places that you could do on a recurring basis, you can put that in your back pocket, right, Mike? And when it gets cold and the winter comes and people aren't washing as much, that you have those to rely on. Because I think a lot of people forget, right? We get into the spring, we get into the summer, it's hot, people want things cleaned, but we forget that there are times like the winter, there are times like in the fall when things start to kind of slow down and it starts to get cold. So that's something to keep in mind whenever, if you guys are ever thinking about quitting your job and going full-time into, doing something like this.
Yeah. And also, I see some folks in here talking about, training and whatnot, but having and we did touch on it briefly, but having the technical ability, the technical skill to get out there and do the job properly, that is unbelievably important. And we talk about leveraging friends and family all of the time, right? We talk about going in and doing work for them first, because it's not going to be perfect the first couple times. And there, you're going to learn the best ways to do things, to apply the detergents and the chemicals, and, how to there's so many things that go into it. And so I just think having that knowledge base is so important, and getting out there and doing some work first before you really start taking on paying customers, because the last thing you want to do is disappoint customers, because it can be devastating to a new business to start getting negative Google reviews right off the bat. So Absolutely. Something to think about.
Big shouts out to Mike Turman. He says, "What's up, fellows?" Shouts out to Scott Chapman in here. Shouts out to T-Pain Swimmer. Says Southeast Soft Wash is the best for chems. If you guys haven't checked out Southeast Soft Wash, get all of your pressure washing chemicals, all your equipment there. I heard they're even doing a giveaway right now on a free pressure washer, 5.5 gallon per minute pressure washer. So be sure you check out southeastsoftwash.com for that. Also, Tyler Jones, I appreciate the knowledge that you guys share. It's very helpful and insightful. We appreciate you guys hanging out and being here with us. I do want to tell you guys about this before we get too much deeper into this. If you guys are interested, Aaron is doing a web class tonight on how he grew his pressure washing business from $0 to $250,000 a year, $250,000, $250,000, and he's doing it in about 3.5 hours. So if you're interested, check first link in the comment section and the description, and go ahead and get signed up for that, because that's going to be going on tonight. Bring a pen and a pad too, because he goes through a lot of different stuff in that.
Absolutely. Another thing that I was thinking about just now is, the title of this video is, when should I quit my full-time job? Don't quit your full-time job. And depending on what you do, you may have the opportunity to do a little networking, right? Do networking where you're at. Utilize the customers or your colleagues or your bosses or whoever, don't burn bridges. That's the first thing, right? Don't burn bridges, but also utilize any kind of contacts that you can gather from the current work to parlay into your new business, because you're going to need lots of eyeballs on your business. And as many contacts that you have that are potential customers, and essentially everybody out there is a potential customer, right? People know people, and if they're not a customer, they might know somebody that's in need of what you're offering. So definitely collect all those contacts, your colleagues, keep in touch, and try to capitalize on that.
I mean, something that me and you talk about all the time, Mike, is everybody that works somewhere, and everywhere that they work probably needs to be cleaned. And so, and a lot of those places are, pretty much every one of those is commercial property that could be cleaned on a recurring basis.
Right.
So we had a guy in the inner circle. I've told the story a couple of times, but basically he started a thing where every person that he went out and quoted, he said, "Hey, do you have any other properties that you need a quote on, or do you know of anyone else that needs a quote?" And he went from not being able to fill a week full of work to now he did $45,000 in quotes in like a very short amount of time, just because he asked every customer if they knew somebody or if they have any other properties that need to be quoted.
Yeah.
How crazy is that, Mike?
No, but these are common sense things that I think people far too often, they just either neglect, they don't think about. When we talked about this months and months ago, I mean, hell, it could have been a year ago. I've implemented that into my own email automation that we've got set up in Quote IQ. And that's one of the questions that is in the follow-up sequence for every single customer that we come in contact with is, "Hey, I know we just took care of your property, but do you happen to know anybody or anybody at work that, needs something done? We do commercial, we do residential, as you know, blah, blah, blah." But you got to do things like that. You got to think outside of the box. And then from there, you can, start filling up the calendar a lot easier.
Okay, I like this, Mike. So this guy Sid has a question, but his first comment into the chat was, "Sid is here." I'm going to start referring to myself in the third person and just start saying Justin is here. I think that's pretty good.
Sid's awesome.
So Sid said, "I have a potential job with 100 vehicles washed per month. Big job, but have never bid or had to do invoices and stuff. How would you handle this? At the moment, I have one assistant, but would hire one or two more."
Well, I think obviously the first thing that we would suggest to you is, if you've never done estimates, you've never done any kind of bids or invoicing and stuff like that, and this is clearly somebody that's got 100 trucks. This is a professional business. You need to also look professional. So I would suggest go over and download Quote IQ. Boom, right there. It's above Justin's head. It's on my shirt. It's on the Apple and it is on the Google Play Store. So it is available to you. Go download that. Use the free version. Enter the contact information once you've established your pricing, and then use that to send a very professional estimate to that customer. And not only that, you'll be able to see when they opened it, and then you can follow up with them and say, "Hey, I know that you saw the estimate. Just wanted to get any feedback on that. We'd love to do this for you. Any kind of feedback would be great. And let me know."
I think one of the biggest mistakes that people make is, like Sid, I can tell if you've never sent an invoice before, you probably have not done a lot of business. So when these big opportunities come to guys, they get the big googly eyes, they get really excited, and it's typically people that don't have a lot of experience. So you're probably going to underbid it if you do end up quoting 100 vehicles, because you're going to feel like, "Oh, we're going to make a ton of money with this." Secondly, you're trying to hire one or two more people already. I'm not sure how much business you have, but like I said, if you're not doing any estimates or invoices, I can't imagine that you have too much on the books. I'll be honest with you, I don't know if you're ready for this kind of job, because based on what you've told us within this comment, you aren't, I'm not sure how evolved your equipment is or anything like that, because if you're not invoicing and sending estimates, I don't know. Anyway, all I'm saying is people get themselves in over their head too quickly, and I don't want that to happen to our friend Sid here.
No, I don't want it to happen to Sid either, but I also don't want to discourage Sid. I want Sid to get out there and give the estimate for the 100 vehicles. And I want him to go and, talk to the people, and I want him to ask what the budget is, because, you want to know where you need to be to get this job, because you want to work for these guys. Those are the things that you need to say. Those are the questions that you need to ask. And then you hit them with a really professional estimate. And, you look the part, you play the part, you're eventually going to be the part, and everybody has to start somewhere. So I wish you the best of luck. And I also encourage you, when you do go and meet with these people, you say, "Sid is here."
Dude, why do we do good cop, bad cop on this, Mike? I feel like I'm like, Sid, you're in over your head. And Mike's like, you can do it, big guy, which I totally agree. Sid, give it a go. Give it your best shot. I'm just letting you know, though, be prepared for to be a little bit over your head. You know what I mean? Go bid it. Do it. Go ahead, Mike.
Well,
Okay,
no.
Mike, what about this? What about this? Let's flip it. So Sid's quoting vehicles. Would you say if a guy who's just starting, they probably have a 3.5 gallon a minute washer, and they get the opportunity to bid a 50,000 square foot building wash? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's kind of the equivalent. And I could be wrong.
I don't, because the way I look at it is, it would be like, what's the difference between cleaning one driveway and cleaning 100 for a condominium complex? There's no difference. It's the same thing. It's like repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat.
Maybe, but you're gonna clean 100 for 100 with a 3.5 gallon a minute Lowe's pressure washer though. Like,
dude, I mean, I don't know.
I'm just saying, look, Sid, I don't know if you've been in business long enough to have systems. You got to keep us updated. Go bid it, do your best, get the job, hire assistants, and let us know how it goes.
And also what you were about to say, Justin, is, you're going to get in over your head. And in a lot of cases, when you're first starting out, even when you've been in the business for a while, it can get overwhelming. It can get very stressful. And that is something that we also need to consider when we're talking about going from a secure business, and no job is secure, but a secure job with a steady paycheck that you can count and rely on, to doing your own thing, right? There's stress with anything and with any job, right? But imagine it's all on you. Like, whether you eat, whether you have shoes, whether you're able to feed your kids and pay your mortgage or your rent, whatever the case is, that's all on you now. And that can weigh heavily. That can be devastating to people that are weak-minded, that don't have the ability to compartmentalize, right? So the stress aspect, the mental health aspect, that's also something that you need to take a deep look into the mirror and ask yourself, are you the type of person that can handle this? Because it is going to come at you. It's going to come at you hard. And, it's
all
not
on
all.
you.
What?
I said, and it's all on you. Nobody's coming to save you, Sid.
It's
You know
all
what I
on
mean?
you, right? You can't just clock out and go home. Like, so.
I don't know. Sid, give it your best go, dude. We wish you nothing but the best. I just try to be kind of a realist. But hey, look, you know what I mean? Whatever. Go out there and do it, man. I started using Quote IQ. I wish I could merge my contacts from the Joyce.
You can.
You can.
As long as you're able to export your contacts from Joist into a CSV file, then you can go into Quote IQ, just pull up where it says import contacts. It's going to show you exactly the layout that you need to have for your headers on each of the columns within. It's going to be a name, last name, phone number, country code, all of the things. It couldn't be easier. So stop doing it by hand. And if you have any issues, just reach out to support, and we'd be more than happy to help you.
Boom. Okay. Mike Turman says, let's hit that thumbs up button or hit the like button. If you haven't hit the like button already, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit the like button right now. Your How to Wash course is amazing, says Matthew Rocha. Do we actually, people think that courses are a scam. Mike, how much time did we spend building out that How to Wash course so we can make it the absolute best that it could be? We're still building it out. Like, we still come up with videos.
So yeah. So if any of you guys watch, there's a channel and a friend of mine, his name is Scott. He's got a channel called Scott Cleans It. And Scott and I, we've been friends for years, right? We both kind of started on YouTube around the same time, and we're in close proximity to each other. We've been able to meet up multiple times and, shake hands and hang out. I met his family. Good dude. And Scott just recently took the How to Wash course. And so he was during the course of him going through it, he's like, hey, I just watched this. It was awesome. Just watched that. He finished it all up. And then he sent me a text. He's like, hey, I got to be real honest. He goes, there was one aspect of this. He said everything was phenomenal, right? Chemicals, how to mix them, how to apply them, the different chemicals, or the different, how to clean different surfaces, everything about the course. He's like, it was great. But the one section that was kind of lacking was property protection. And that hit me. I was like, damn, maybe he's right, because I was so focused on how to wash, right? And there's a substantial section in there about property protection, so the bottom line is I'm taking that constructive criticism, and I am not refilming. I'm going out and filming a lot of the things that were missed, and putting in a bunch of little pro tips and some hacks that we do to help you guys out that have already got the course. So if you have How to Wash already, you're going to get some updates. And if you don't, then, we're always updating. So, that's
And
one of
with the course being 6 hours long already. It's over 6 hours long. Like,
yeah.
It's incredible. We packed absolutely much value in there as we could. And it's also linear. So if you're ever trying to figure out how to, start a wash business, you want to figure out how to do the right things on the job, on the site, like you need to go through the course, because otherwise you're going to be scouring through YouTube, through videos, through nonsense, people wasting your time. This video is straight to the information. And it's really good. So anyway, we appreciate Matthew Rocha for telling us that he enjoyed the course. I do want to tell you guys, we are doing a web class tonight. If you haven't already checked it out, first link in the comment section and the description. Less than 3.5 hours away, Aaron's teaching the 3 secrets that scaled his pressure washing business from $0 to over $250,000 a year with 1 truck and no money. So if you're somebody out there that resonates with that, if you have 1 truck and you don't have a lot of money, but you're looking to get started, check out the free web class, first link in the comment section and the description. Less than 3.5 hours away. You guys get signed up, get in there, and let's make it happen.
And also something else that that we haven't mentioned is we have teamed up with the Window Cleaning Resource, who is a phenomenal company. They are one of the best distributors of window cleaning equipment, and basically anything you could need for the exterior cleaning world, they've got it. But they are windowcleaner.com. But we've teamed up with those guys, Quote IQ has, and we are giving away a business starter kit, a window cleaning business starter kit. We're giving away a pure water system, a 30-foot pure water fed pole, and also an entire traditional setup. So I think it's worth probably about $4,500. And so if you are already a subscriber of Quote IQ, either a premium or a platinum subscriber, you're already entered to win. But if this is something that you think that you might want to do, right? You might want to quit your full-time job and go and start a window cleaning business. This would be a great place to start, because it's got the best equipment that you could possibly buy, and good stuff from there. Holy moly.
Check out was this on mine or yours, Mike?
Well, it's always on yours. I hope
Mike, way to go, big guy. Mike Turman coming through with the $99 super chat. I'm pretty sure he maxed that out. I don't know if you can go over $100, but thank you so much, Mike. We really appreciate it. He said, let's pay it back. Mike,
but you know what's crazy, guys, is, we Justin and I do these all the time. And I've never seen a dime of any of that. He takes it all. Like, I would expect, like, we've got some joint accounts, like maybe he could go ahead and, drop a.
Yeah, good luck with that, Mike. Hey, thank you, Mike Chairman. I'm taking my old lady to dinner on this, man. I appreciate it. This Mike right here won't see a dime of it. I'm just kidding. Really appreciate Mike Turman. Thank you so much, man. Perry says the ultimate collab. You got that right. Best sales pitch for pressure washing noobs. And go, Mike. Sell me right now a pressure washing job.
We actually had something. Somebody said something to us the other day that both, when it was said, we were on a joint call. And thanks, Mike. And this guy, he said, do I want, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Wait, what are we talking about, Mike? Somebody said something to us on a joint call?
Yeah.
I don't know if I remember what you're talking about. Are you trying to see if you
about
should
say sales?
Is it bad?
No, what you do.
No, yeah, I don't know if I'd say it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because it was gold.
It was. Yeah, okay, you can go and say it.
No. Okay. The best sales pitch for a pressure washing new. Are we talking about door knocking? Like, what are we talking about? So imagine you're first starting out and you are desperate for jobs. So what is a surefire way to go out and get your name and your face and your company in front of as many people as possible? Not as many people, but people, is going and knocking on doors, right? This is something that people are absolutely terrified to do, right? And it's something that I've never done personally, but it's something that I think is kind of fun. And it's something I was just telling Justin that I'm going to set up a tripod and I'm going to record myself going up to several homes and trying to sell them, right? Just to see, if I'm capable of doing it, right? I know I am, because I'm a sales guy by nature, but so my sales pitch is you always want to, you want to knock on the door. You want to go to good neighborhoods, right? You don't want to go to neighborhoods that are super, super dirty, because that kind of tells you that they don't care. They're not the ones that are going to be really interested in keeping up with the Joneses, because the Joneses place looks just as bad as theirs, and they don't care. So you want to go to nicer neighborhoods, and then you want to kind of hone in on issues, right? I see these pine straw guys, that's big down here for covering of beds in the area where I live. And these guys will come in on the weekends with these huge trailers just full of hundreds and hundreds of bales of pine straw, and they will drive around and they'll see a house that pine straw looks bad. It's bare, it's getting old, it's graying out. And they run up to the front and they're like, hey, we're in the neighborhood. I've got a full crew right here that's ready to roll. We can do, if you guys want to walk around and see how many bales it'll take with us, we can give you a price right here. So they found a pain point. They've identified a clear issue, and then they're going to go and they're going to point it out to the homeowner, and they're going to ask them to take a look around with them, get them outside, point them, show them visual. And that's a great tactic, right? And these guys are not trained salespeople. They just know that this works, right? And you can do the exact same thing. And my plan is to do it with some roofs. Every morning, my wife and I, we run and we walk, and I go down this one street, and there's like 8 of these houses, and they're nice homes. 8 of these houses in a row, and their roofs are absolutely horrible, just covered with Gloeocapsa magma. And so every time I run by, I'm like, oh, I need to go and knock on their door and blah, blah, blah. Initially, it was like, oh, I'm going to go and drop a postcard off when we're on the golf cart or do something like that. And I just never do it, right? Time and energy and whatever. But I think it would be a great video. And I think there's enough guys out there that ask the question, like Perry, what's the best sales pitch? So I'm going to give you guys kind of a glimpse into what I think it should look like. And basically it's what the pine straw guys say. Hey, my name's Mike. I own All American Pressure Cleaning. I was walking down the sidewalk, or I was in the neighborhood, or I've got a crew down the road, or we do a lot in this neighborhood. And I just happened to notice that your roof has got a pretty significant issue on it. And if you want to see it, I can point out to you exactly what it is, and hopefully they'll come out and you see these ugly black streaks. You probably thought that was something that you have to live with, but that's actually a living organism. It's called Gloeocapsa magma, and it is eating away at the components. It's actually the limestone in the shingles on your roof. So it is destroying your roof as it sits there and continues to grow. But the good news is we can clean that for you. And if you wanted me to, I can give you a price right now. It's going to be $800 to do it. Oh, it's probably a little bit more. Well, you know what? We're going to be in the neighborhood next Wednesday. I could take off, $100. We can do it for $700 and go from there. Okay. Well, do you have a card? I don't have a card with me, but if I could get your contact information, that would be great. And I'm going to send you over a formal estimate, and I'm going to do that with Quote IQ. They're going to get that. And now I've got their email. I've got their name. I've got all the information I need to market to them if they choose not to. But I'm not going to allow them to be the ones to call me. I'm going to be the one to follow up with them. And I'm going to continue to follow up. But that's kind of my sales pitch for pressure washing noobs.
Boom. Okay, now let me give mine. Okay, you guys, with regards to a sales pitch, you don't necessarily need a sales pitch if you're providing a service or providing value and it's something that somebody needs. So for example, like if we were in the desert and there's no water, right? And you're dying of thirst and I have a water bottle. Do I really need a sales pitch to sell you the water bottle? Absolutely not. You want the water bottle just because it fulfills one of your needs. So what you have to do is you have to figure out what are people's pain points, and then you just need to like what Mike said. A pain point could be the roof. It could be your shingles are messed up by this Gloeocapsa magma, or it's a bad look for everybody in the neighborhood. But you need to accentuate those pain points, and then you need to provide value in a way that can resolve those. So for example, like with pressure washing, right? You got the HOA on your back. You got neighbors that are looking at your house. You got family that's coming over for the holidays. Those are kind of some pain points that could be accentuated, and your resolution to that is providing your pressure washing service. So if you have something that somebody needs, you don't need to pitch in order to sell it, though, as I think was my main.
Although, I think that's a great point, right? It's kind of the same as interruption versus intent marketing, right?
Right.
With interruption marketing, you have to have a pitch.
You do. With
an intent, you don't necessarily have to, because they're coming to you with the intent to purchase because they have an issue they've identified. You don't have to identify it for them. So I think really the situation dictates the pitch. And the pitch is evolving. There is not a single pitch that is for everybody, right? Like I've recorded a bunch of different scenarios where I've walked into apartment complexes and recorded them, and I've never put them out there for everybody, but like, I let Justin and Cody and Aaron watch them and just kind of, we kind of dissect them and look at them together, and, the things that work, the things that don't work, breaking down barriers, and it's very fluid. So, it's something that you also need to practice and you need to get comfortable with. You have to understand your service, the value that you're providing, and you have to be able to convey that value to your customers in a clear way that they understand, so they can understand, and they can say, oh, you know what, he's right. So makes it a lot easier.
I definitely agree. And then one thing you guys can utilize, just like Mike said, is film yourself, record yourself. The next time you go and you do an estimate, the next time you go and you meet with a customer, record the whole interaction and then listen back to it a little while later. Because when you take yourself out of that moment and you can kind of hear yourself, later on, you'll be able to pick out things that's like, oh, I probably shouldn't have said that there. Oh, I probably could have said this a different way. So
right.
Coming up with the best sales pitch. I mean, if you have something somebody needs, you don't need to pitch it. However, in order to sell things, you need to figure out what people's pain points are. I do want to highlight this one. Owning a business is a 24-hour job. I don't think a lot of people realize this, Mike. They think that they see you just doing work on the internet and it's like, oh man, that looks like it could be fun and it's satisfying. But dude, literally owning a business is 24/7 nonstop, 7 days a week. Right, Mike?
Yeah. It 100% is. That's another thing that you guys need to consider is the impact it can have on your personal life, right? If you've got a significant other that is unwilling or unable to understand that this is going to be an all-consuming venture for a while, right? Like, obviously with my pressure washing business, it's not so much like that anymore because I've got systems in place. I've got good people, and I've got a tremendous customer base and recurring customers that I still have to put in effort. So if anybody ever tells you, oh, you can just be the CEO and hire people and walk away, and that's a damn lie. The CEO of the biggest companies is probably more engaged than anybody else in the business. And that's because they take it seriously. They take it to heart and they care about the outcome. And as a business owner, you're going to have to care about the outcome. But it is not a 9-to-5 job. I started a landscape business, and some of you guys may have heard this story, but I started this business. I had a friend who I hired. He lost his job. He was in like a corporate type job, and he needed a job. He had a mortgage. He had kids at private school, and he needed to pay. So I hired him to pressure wash because that was just like, last ditch effort to get some money coming in. He ended up doing it for quite a while. And he was, fortunate enough to where I was generous enough to where he was able to make things work for himself financially. But I felt like I was underutilizing his ability because he was sharp. He could sell, he could talk. He was a manager at this place that he used to work at. And so I was like, okay, what can I do to, utilize him better, to make me more money, to make him more money? And, so I was like, we're going to start a landscape business. So I went out and I bought, $25,000, $30,000 worth of equipment. And we, utilized our current customer base, leveraging what we have. And we're able to kind of, hit the ground running with a decent customer base. And as it turned out, and I just wanted to turn it over to him, I wanted him to feel the same way that I felt about the business. And unfortunately, he just didn't have the DNA that made him want to do more than a 9-to-5 job. He is a 9-to-5 guy. And if you're a 9-to-5 guy and you don't want to put in anything extra, if you don't want to come home and do the marketing and do the bookkeeping and do all of the stuff that needs to be done in order for a business to be successful, then you probably need to stay where you're at in your 9-to-5, because like Justin said, it's a 24-hour, or who this Payne is that Tyler? It's a 24-hour job.
Justin said it too. It's a 24-hour job. No, I do want to say this though. I did some consulting for a company that was doing mobile detailing, and I was running ads for them, and like this ad absolutely crushed. I think we spent like $250. We got like a little over 20 messages on it. They did not convert a single message into a customer, and you guys know why? They would not message customers after hours. They refused to. If it was a weekend, they didn't touch their phones. If it was after 5 p.m., they wouldn't touch their phones. So every single person that we got in on their hard-earned money for this ad spend, they couldn't convert anybody. Because guess what? When somebody messages in and they want a quote, you need to get the quote as fast as possible. Me and Mike were just looking at statistics that say the longer the time between a person asking for a quote and the person getting the quote, the less likely it is for you to actually sell them on the job. And
every minute that you do not respond, to a customer, it's like a 20% or a 30% chance likelihood that you're not going to close that job with each minute, right? So you 3 or 4 minutes, and it's because of that the world that we live in where people expect instant gratification. It's a cuckoo thing.
So if you're one of those people that thinks like, oh, after 9 to 5, I'm going to turn it off and we'll crank it back up tomorrow, you will not be successful, and your children will go hungry, and you're going to live in a bad place, and it's just not good. So if you're 9 to 5, or be a 9 to 5, or just like this guy says, if you're a 9 to 5 guy, that's cool, but don't go into business for yourself, because the workday does not end after 9 to 5. Mike, how often are we thinking about business, making money, making moves? Like, does it ever stop?
It never stops.
Never.
It's constant. And
I stay up late. Mike wakes up early. I text Mike ideas late at night. Mike wakes up in the morning. He's sending me a bunch of texts. Like, it never stops. We are 24/7 with this. Right, Mike?
Yeah. I'm an older gentleman, so I have to turn in early.
Mike,
hey guys, hey, Justin, cover your ears. I don't really go to bed. I just don't want to talk to Justin much.
You son of a bitch.
I thought you were closing your ears.
Brian says, greetings from Ireland, Justin. Been great watching your channel and success grow. I remember the Ford pickup flips and vending machine days. Thank you so much, Brian, for being
and whatever, Brian. Like, thanks, I don't matter, but whatever.
Brian doesn't even know who you are, Mike. I do want to tell you guys about this, though. We're doing a free web class tonight. Aaron's going to be sharing the 3 secrets that scaled his business from zero to over $250,000 a year. I saw somebody ask a question in the chat that said, is it for any other industries? The principles that Aaron's going to be teaching you guys tonight are for every industry. So his first secret, how he steals his competition's positioning to make it look like he's the best company in his city. Any business can take that. How he built a book of high ticket customers. Any business can take that. And then how he gets 200 calls per month. Any business can take that. So if you are in the service industry, this live is going to apply to you, right, Mike?
It is. Let me address one. Shack Attack, I think. If I wash windows without deionized water, will it be fine? If you wash windows traditionally with a mop and a squeegee and soap, you're going to be fine. But you can't use a water-fed pole to wash windows and expect great results, because the water is going to dry on the windows. And when the water dries, if it's not pure, then there's going to be imperfections in the water, impurities, and they're going to dry. And that's what those little drops of water are. So yeah, you need to have a pure water system if you are doing water-fed pole, but if not, you're good to go.
Boom. Jose says, where can we sign up? Click the description. So I know this is live, but if you click the title, it should pop down with the description. Once this goes up, it'll be in the comment section and the description, but click through and you can register. I think we have 3 hours left to register before the event.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hermit says, what Justin doesn't know can't hurt him. Yes, definitely. I had a customer hit me up at 10 p.m., responded a few minutes later, and landed the job. Money doesn't sleep. One thing that I want to tell you guys is, and whenever I first got on Google, I had to learn this the hard way. I got on Google and I got a call team, because Aaron and Mike had a call team and I wanted to be cool like them. So I got a call team too. So the call team would send in, like, somebody calls in, the call team fills out the form with all the contact information and everything. They make it nice and neat. It's good. It sends to my email. But I was doing this thing where, like, if I was busy, I would respond like a couple hours later, might be 2 hours later, might be hour and a half, whatever. But this happened like multiple times. I would call the customer and say, hey, this is Justin. I was calling to give you a quote on pressure washing. And they go, oh, we already found somebody. And like, when I tell you guys, you're losing out on leads if you are not getting back with them quickly. Payne knows it. He responded at 10 p.m. a few minutes later and landed the job from, the cozy, comfy place, the bed. Am I right, Mike?
That's right. That is right. The class is free, absolutely free, no charge. Never mind, found the link. Okay, good. Brian, thank you. It makes me feel a little bit better that you knew who I was. And this kid, Grayson from Louisiana, what would you say to young entrepreneurs in the industry? I'm 16 and finna start pressure washing. My first thing, Grayson, is never use the word finna, because it's not a good word.
And old people don't know what that word means.
I know what it means.
What was this question? And don't want anyone thinking I don't do as well of a job due to my age.
Well, age is going to be an obstacle for you, whether you do a phenomenal job or you don't, but don't allow that to stop you from getting out there and doing your best work.
Well, we've talked about this a couple times. So you can either use age to your detriment or you can use it to your advantage. So for somebody who's younger, if you went door to door, you get a lot less like door slammed in your face because you're just a young guy. So I would go knock doors and I'd say, "Hey, I'm in the neighborhood. I'm doing work in the neighborhood, and if you guys have anything that I can do, let me know." One thing that guys who are younger get themselves stuck in is they're like, "I'm only doing pressure washing work." Well, guess what? If somebody needs weeds pulled, if they need stuff blown off, if they need a gutter clean out, like Mike, do you agree with this? They need to be open for some more possibilities with regards to doing jobs.
No, absolutely. And Justin actually has a great short, actually a couple of them that I've seen that like he said a kid came to the door and they were asking for one service, but Justin didn't need it. But he's like, hey, I do need this, this, and this done. And the kids did it. In the short, they did a shitty job and whatever. But yes, you have to be open to it. Hell, Justin is a prime example. Like he says, he started his business doing things like cleaning out gardens for people, doing sidewalks with his dad's pressure washer. I mean, you do what you need to do in order to succeed, right? And in order to grow. And if you don't have that can-do attitude, if you don't have that initiative, and that's what it is, right? Like, don't get your feelings hurt that they don't need pressure washing done, but say, hey, what do you need done? I can help with pretty much anything. So
dude, my little brother. Okay, so my little brother, I got him doing a bunch of different side hustles right now. So he cleans cars out. So he does some mobile detailing. He washes cans. And I was like, oh, you talking about Cody?
yeah.
Cody said, Jesus told me y'all are scammers. Boy. Anyway, my brother does a bunch of side hustles right now. He does can cleaning, he does mobile detailing, and he posts in groups saying that he does these different things. Well, I told him, I said, dude, post in the group saying that you do odd jobs, because when you post that you do one specific thing, somebody might not be interested in can cleaning, somebody might not be interested in mobile detailing. But when you open it up and you say, hey, I'm doing odd jobs, he's gotten requests to come fix cabinets, to come mow people's grass. He told me one lady wanted him to do some pest control. Like, you just never know. And if one lady asked him to babysit chickens for her. So you never know what people need. And unless you put yourself out there saying that you do things, you're going to limit the amount of money that you can make.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer in chicken babysitting. I think it's a great place to start.
I agree. If you're not babysitting chickens, what the are you doing? All right, we're doing a free web class tonight. How I grew my pressure washing business from $0 to $250,000 a year. If you haven't checked it out already, first link in the comment section in the description. 3 hours remaining. We're getting down to the wire here. It works for any industry. Aaron's going to be teaching him 3 secrets, how he scaled his business, 1 truck, no money. Aaron came from the bottom. Trust me, he's going to share his story with you guys in the video, but he went from living literally in a van down by the river to scaling up to $250,000. So it's a great story. You guys should
to a high-rise apartment in the sky.
I don't know what that is, Mike.
Mike Turman knows what that means.
Mike Turman says, get the damn job, then figure it out like quick. Dude, Mike is the perfect example of this. He always talks to people and says, hey, what do you guys need? Or I noticed you needed this. He sent me a video closing a commercial property. He just walked up on the owner. He's like, hey man, I noticed your roof was dirty. We clean roofs. And just as easy as that, the guy was like, yeah, send me an estimate. Let me know. And Mike sent an estimate and made it happen. That's what Mike does. He takes care of business. Dude, what's the deal with this new Barbie movie, Mike? Have you heard about this?
I have. I've not seen it. All of my kids have seen it. And it's Margot Robbie and Jared Goff lookalike. What's that guy's name? Ryan something or other.
Gosling or whatever?
Yeah, Gosling. I don't know. It's supposed to be a cute little movie. It's apparently super, super liberal and just laden with all kinds of ideology that I don't necessarily agree with, but that's neither here nor there.
It's been getting a lot of press, man. Everybody in here knows about that movie. What is The Jeffersons? Yes.
Yeah, The Jeffersons, moving on up to a high-rise apartment.
Is that what you were saying? These are people relating to you, Mike?
Yeah, I'm assuming that this gentleman is maybe of advanced age.
They must be older. I'm just kidding, you guys. Grayson says, sounds atrocious. Dude, you got to be willing to do stuff that other people are not willing to do if you want things.
Hey, you can watch chickens in a van. Wouldn't that be great if that's what Aaron started with?
Freaking, so he told me, he's like, yeah, this lady wanted me to watch her chickens. I'm like, dude, why didn't you do it? And he's like, I don't know. I just didn't want to. And I'm like, what are you, an idiot? How hard can watching chickens be? You put out some feed, you make sure they go in the coop or whatever. Like, I don't know, you know?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, what is this? What is your number one tip for not offending someone when pointing out their property is in need of a cleaning, i.e. dirt?
Well, I'm a huge proponent of shaming them, honestly. Like I'll say like, wow, like if this is bothering me, I know it's got to bother you. Right.
Right.
Like I mean, they know their stuff is dirty. You know, you don't have to, and I'm kidding. You don't have to shame
So
anybody.
there's two ways that these guys go about when they're knocking doors. There's either one where they say, "Hey, I noticed that you had some dirt on your siding." Okay. And that's one way you can go about it. But then you're literally pointing out to these people that their house is dirty. Or you could go the other route and you ask them, "Hey, when was the last time you had your property cleaned?" Which then they are going to admit to you that it has not been cleaned for a while. That's a little small tweak in the way that you're phrasing something, but it takes it from you accusing them of having a dirty house to them pretty much admitting it because they haven't cleaned it in a while. Mike,
Yeah.
how about that for a phrase change?
Oh, I like it. You just flipped the script.
Okay, sweet. I'm gonna pitch one more time. You guys, look, tonight, 3 secrets, okay? 0 to 250K. Mike, should they sign up for this? First link in the comment section description.
Well, they better sign up quick because we've got what, a couple, like almost 3 hours left. And I'm gonna look.
Almost less than 3 hours at this
Yeah.
point. Like, it's gonna be good. I think
There's like eight places left.
Oh, okay. Seats are limited, so there's 8 slots left. You guys are interested? Hop in now.
8
If
what?
not, 38 isn't quite advanced age, haha, but growing up going to grandparents' house and you watch a lot of TV Land. Dude, I remember TV Land. Does that even exist anymore, Mike? Mike, I bet you watched Gilligan's Island whenever you were younger, huh?
No, Justin, that was prior to my time.
I bet you watched
You are Gilligan. You look like Gilligan. I'm going to buy you a Gilligan hat.
No, what was that movie? What was it? I can't remember.
What's it about?
Smash or something, or it was that military movie or military TV show.
MASH.
MASH. There it is. I know
That's
you
a
watched
good
that show. Okay, sweet. Are you ready to wrap, Mike? You good with that?
Yeah. Any other questions? Anybody?
Anything else you want to say before we wrap this up?
My business has slowed down a little bit, but I was going to great last couple months. Any suggestions? MASH.
You want to answer this one?
Any suggestions on? Yeah, go watch Aaron's thing because he's going to talk in depth about that. And my what I would really encourage you to do is if you do not have a GMB, a Google business page, you definitely need to go set that up and spend time on that. Right, this is what's going to help your business get seen by a lot more people. Get as many reviews as you can get. Add content. Take before and after pictures. Take pictures of your work. Take pictures of you doing work. Engage with the audience. Although it doesn't feel like you're engaging with the audience, the better your GMB page is, the more Google's going to promote it. So I highly encourage you to spend every single day doing an update, adding something, right? It's going to pay off. And it's not one of these overnight things that's miraculously going to happen. It does take time, but you have to continually do it. So.
Okay. So his business slowed down a bit. So GMB is a good way to go.
Yeah.
Also, do more than one type of marketing, right? Diversify your marketing. Okay, sweet. Payne says, hustle hard and get that money, baby. Peace. Mike, what's our word of the day on this video? Web class. Join the web. Check out the web class.
I don't know.
Come on, Mike. You got to pick a word. Is it MASH?
Yeah, let's make it MASH.
The word of the day on this video is MASH. If you made it this far in the video, comment down below MASH and we'll hashtag you a real one.
Let's go, Klinger.
My name is Justin. This is Forever Self-Employed.
Hey, and if anybody actually knows anything from MASH, like put a character name down there too, because that'll make me funny. I just said Klinger, so don't use that one.
And until next time, hustle hard and get that money, baby. Peace.